Hello everyone. Welcome back. I'm Boomy, and today we are watching the Lizard Tier List by TierZoo. This was suggested to me by Michelle Lundberg over here. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Um, yeah, another one of TierZoo's amazing videos. So I'm excited to go ahead and check this out. As usual, I don't know a lot about animals, so I'm always excited and surprised about the things that I learn with regards to different species. And learning something is always a good thing. So yeah, I'm excited to go ahead and check this out. Let's see. Predictions. I predict what lizard is common? Uh, chameleon. Chameleon might be great. Or if we're looking at a like versus style, like the first frame over here, I don't know about a chameleon. They don't have a good matchup against a lot of things except insects, but their camouflage is superior compared to the rest. Let's see. Lizards. Are alligators considered lizards? They're not, right? They are amphibian, but I don't know if alligator is considered a lizard or crocodile or that species, but if they are, then they're probably at least S tier. Let's see. What was the dragon one? Komodo dragon. That thing is venomous, I believe. Was it venomous or poisonous or both? He has this like toxic thing that he can either inject or you can ingest. Depending, I keep forgetting. Like I said, I don't know a lot of things when it comes to animals. So yeah, I believe that will be an S tier as well, since that thing can grow up to really big. No, I'm thinking about reptiles. This is specifically lizards. Are they considered lizards? No, god damn it. Um, crocodiles aren't lizards for sure. They are reptiles though. Are they reptiles though? I should stop. I should stop saying things. But yeah, I'm excited to go ahead and check this out. So remember, if you like my reactions, don't forget to leave a like, let me know your thoughts in the video down in the comment section below, and consider subscribing. Also, don't forget to leave your suggestions on what I should watch next. That being said, let's go ahead and watch the video. Can they kill a parakeet? Oh shit! They probably can eat it, right? That's
This
too
video
big
was
for
made
them.
in partnership with CuriosityStream. Reptiles are a diverse faction full of many strategies.
Oh yeah,
Generally
they
speaking, they tend
are.
to be fairly straightforward.
They are
Turtles
considered
are tank builds that
reptiles.
spec into high defensive stats at the cost of
I
mobility.
was somewhat right.
Crocodiles are damage dealers that focus on grappling to secure kills.
Grappling.
Snakes optimize for stealth and rely on status effects to bring down their targets. But where do lizards fit into the meta? They aren't really known for extreme speed, but as far as cold-blooded builds go, they're quicker than most. And while not as tanky as turtles, and not as stealthy as snakes, they can hold their own in each of these departments as well. Some of the larger lizards can even
There
get
we go,
crocodilians
Komodo
run for their money
dragons.
in the power category too. While many of them could best be described as jack of all
What
trades,
is that? A
generalists,
newt?
there are also plenty of lizards with extremely unique abilities. So to better understand the many different game plans employed by the lizard player base, today we're going through the lizard tier list.
Ooh.
Before we get into the tier
No
list, though,
F
first
tier?
I'd like to start with some background on the history of the lizard faction. So back during the Carboniferous expansion, the meta revolved around the conflict between the two most powerful factions, the amphibians and the arthropods. However, during this
That
time,
can
a
grow
small
up to that
subsection of the amphibian player
big?
base unlocked two new special abilities.
That is
The
scary.
eggshell, which allowed them to respawn on dry land rather than in the water, and scales, which gave them massively increased dehydration resistance. This eliminated their reliance on water and allowed them to explore tons of new strategies.
This is how
eventually
they
diversifying
became
into all of the reptile builds
amphibians.
in today's meta, as well as a few that were so overpowered that they ended up getting nerfed. The
Nerf.
most powerful lizard build of all time was the Mosasaurus, a build that arose from a player base of beach-dwelling monitor lizards that stacked into aquatic mobility options in order to avoid being griefed by dinosaurs. but one of the most powerful lizards of
Yeah,
today's
there's no
meta.
F tier.
We're actually going to begin in D tier, as I don't think there are any truly awful lizard builds. The adaptations they've made to eliminate the weaknesses of their amphibian ancestors is enough to escape bottom tier, in my opinion. So,
That's
how do
cool.
lizards stack up? Let's get into the tier list.
Skink? Okay, so there wasn't a new...
In D tier, we have the skink, a smaller lizard build with very little in the way of unique
What is that in it? Is that another, like, nose? Because those can't be ears, right?
special abilities. Their stats are also quite low, and their game plan generally just
Termites?
consists of chasing down players in the lower weight classes, and struggles pretty hard when forced to defend itself. In particular, this build has a lot of trouble dealing with birds. Despite the fact that it often hunts in grassy fields, it lacks the stealth stats required to avoid detection from above.
Yeah, that's
In
pretty
fact,
obvious to a
skinks
bird's
are known
eye.
for being brightly colored or having one specifically brightly colored body part. Skinks try to avoid being griefed by digging burrows for themselves, and while burrows are a great hiding place, the burrowing playstyle tends to work best when you've got the ability to launch a powerful attack in a single direction, since the bottleneck of a burrow makes it near impossible for
No,
a predator
kitties!
to approach without
No, go
getting
back.
hit. Skinks can't really mount any sort of attack, so if their burrow gets discovered, it's most likely game over. The one defensive ability they do have is one commonly found in the lizard
Oof.
player base, autotomy.
Oh shit! So they can purposely remove a limb just to escape?
Autotomy allows the user to drop their tail in order to
Oh,
get
okay,
one
so it's
free
just
escape from a combo or
just
grab.
their tail.
Now, to be fair, being able to break out of your opponent's death combos is an extremely
Yep.
useful trait that can save you from
And their
certain
tails
defenses.
just
But with that
grow
said,
back, right?
autotomy is extremely costly to use, isn't guaranteed to work, and leaves you with reduced max HP for the rest of the game, even if your character has regenerative abilities.
Oh, okay, so it doesn't
Larger
regenerate for
defense, using
everyone.
your tail also removes one of your best offensive options.
Ooh,
But
whip.
for the skink, this isn't as big a problem. With all that being said, skinks are one of the more lackluster lizard builds, so let's keep going and get to the more interesting ones.
The basilisk.
Also in D2, we have
Yeah.
the basilisk lizard, which is most notable for its use of the sprint ability, not just
Oh
the
yeah, these are the little guys that
but
run
also
at
to
you.
cross bodies of water. At first, this ability seems quite impressive,
What?
and it certainly is a flashy move, but upon further examination, I don't think it's really all that useful in the long run. Being on the surface of the water is quite possibly
How are
the
they
most
doing
vulnerable
that?
position in the game, leaving you open to
Are they
attacks
just
from above
moving
and below.
too fast?
But ultimately, I think it's more important to just point out that the whole reason the reptile faction split off from the amphibian player base in the first place was to remove their reliance on water.
That's
So
true.
choosing an ability with a pretty situational use that also requires that the user be on the water's edge to use it is kind of a step backwards in the grand scheme of things. The Basilisk doesn't even have bad stats. It couldn't use the water dash move without above average mobility. But still, I think its choice of moveset
Oh,
is pretty
damn.
self-limiting, and they'd be better off
Rip
spending into other
to the
synergy
guy that
moves.
it ate. Geckos. Hey, now this is the build that I know a lot. We have we call this toko because of the sound that it makes. Here in our house, I believe we have 2 or 3 roaming around. They mostly live behind our kitchen cabinet.
In C tier, we have two
This
lizard
is-
builds who
this is
invest
very
heavily
common
into the
here.
climbing ability. The Gecko build operates in a similar manner to the Tree Frog, with cling pads enabling it to climb any surface with ease.
Mhm.
As far as mobility perks though, this is probably one of the best in the game. It works great as an escape option, but is also fantastic for utility and
Yep.
even for offense, allowing the user
That's
to approach
definitely
targets that are
something that
not
we
within
have here.
reach. Being able to hang on tight is also super important for arboreal combat, as fall damage is a major threat. With such a strong clinging ability, geckos can often be the ones tossing other players into the void below. Geckos do have a fair number of weaknesses though.
Oh
They opt
man, look at the high quality gecko. Damn, that looks so good. I'm sorry.
to use their tails to store energy, which can be a useful ability, but unfortunately in doing so, they take away the option to use their tails to attack. Geckos also do not have scales, instead opting for skin that gives disease resistance bonuses, so their armor class is lower than that of most lizards, and actually more
Poison
akin to amphibians.
resistance.
Because of this, they're quite vulnerable to piercing damage, such as bird talons and snake
Mhm.
fangs. And with relatively low damage output, their only real hope against such attacks is stealth, which some do definitely excel
Ooh.
at. All in all, solid mid-tier. The Anoli is a small, agile lizard build with a surprising number of special abilities, most notable of which are their adhesive toe pads and their color-changing skin. Most builds that run the cling
Basically
pad
like
ability tend to be more
a smaller
bulky and
chameleon.
cumbersome. Anolis emphatically break this mold, being both excellent climbers and having a climbing speed that rivals that of the squirrel. Because of this, they're great at escaping attacks by jumping between trees and scrambling up branches. But where things really get interesting is with the color change perk. Now, the ability to change colors is one of the most downright broken stealth perks in the game.
That is
and
so
one of the main
true.
reasons I consider
Look at that. Less than 5 seconds and they already look like the environment.
Anolis have probably the most basic version of the color change perk, allowing them to shift between green and brown at will. While
Just
nowhere near
those
as
two
versatile
colors?
as some other color changing builds, green and brown are pretty much all you need the vast majority of the time.
Well, that
This
is
change
true.
is very gradual though, so it's unlikely to allow you to escape mid-combat. Which is unfortunate because, similar to the gecko, the Anoli suffers from a lack of combat options when caught out in the open.
The Gila
Last
monster.
in C tier we have the Gila monster.
Oh,
The Gila
Gila.
monster is one of the tankier lizard builds, and possesses one of the highest
Is this like one of a subspecies of the Komodo dragon? Because it looks like one.
damage outputs in the game for its size. It owes this high damage not to its actual power stat, but to its venomous bite.
Oh yeah,
rare
it
ability
is. So it
on
was
monsters.
venomous then.
This makes them extremely dangerous in close combat, and combined with their excellent defensive stats and digging ability, this allows them to easily vanquish all of the players in any nest it discovers.
Oof.
The Gila monster is extremely slow moving though, which can cause issues if it's ever forced to flee, or if it needs to chase down a target. The lack of a long whip-like tail also means its defensive combat options aren't near as diverse as other larger lizards. Still, with one of
I'm
the
sorry,
most
guys.
devastating bites in the game, it's certainly no low tier.
B tier. No.
In B tier, we've got the
C
tried and
tier.
true iguana, arguably the best representative of the lizard build as a whole, as it has essentially all the main weaknesses and strengths of its class.
He has a
I
whip.
have an entire video on the iguana, so go check that out if you want an in-depth
Ooh,
review. But in
interesting.
short,
Soon.
The iguana sports
You'll
mid-range
check that out
stats across
soon.
the board, and is the first lizard on the tier list to make use of its tail for something other than a sacrificial scapegoat.
Ooh.
The iguana's tail whip attack allows it to control a solid defensive zone around itself in all directions, enabling it to defend itself from group attacks. Tail whip's damage is on the low side though,
Tail
so a
whip.
persistent attacker could potentially just eat the damage in order to break through and land its own attacks. The iguana also has access to the autotomy ability, but this is especially costly in the iguana's case, as it'd also be giving up its best combat move in the process. Overall,
Yeah.
a solid mid tier with lots of potential, especially in the marine servers.
That was dumb.
The chameleon
Here we go,
build
the
sports
chameleon.
several of the most unique abilities in the game. So most lizards, especially the insectivorous ones, have a pretty simple game plan for taking down enemies.
Was that a?
Chase
Yeah,
them
it was a
down and grab them.
cockroach.
This strategy has a lot of limitations though. First of all, it means you've got pretty much no options to attack a player who is too large to grab. It also forces you to optimize heavily towards mobility, forcing you to neglect other potential strategies.
Oh,
in
look
order
at
to
that
have a
boy
chance
go.
of catching up to your target. The chameleon subverts this limitation by speccing into one of the strangest abilities in the game, a tether tongue attack. This
Oh, yeah.
essentially functions as a
It was
ranged
basically like a
and is extremely effective
tail
at
whip.
scoring the chameleon kills. This also allows the chameleon the freedom to prioritize other stats over mobility, and in the chameleon's
Man,
case,
those
they're
eyes.
clearly optimized for stealth, as evidenced by their other special ability, color change. Now, while chameleons can change color in order to buff their camouflage, most use it for communication and intimidation, shifting to brighter colors to display dominance. While they don't have the same cling pads that geckos and anoles do, their prehensile tail
Donk.
gives them extra security to ensure that they don't get easily ripped out of trees.
Wow, he survived that. That was amazing.
And allows them to attack from riskier positions. With all this said though, they still struggle when caught out in the open because of their low mobility. And they also share the same offensive weakness of not being able to take down players that they can't gulp down in a single bite.
Yep, that's true. They're basically stuck to lower weight classes.
The Tegu is a lizard build that has long been overlooked, but has recently become a serious contender on the tier list. Its recent
Another
invasion to the
venomous
North
one?
American server has destabilized the local meta, and when you look at their stats, it's easy to see why. Tegus
Ooh,
are similar
pretty
in both
well-rounded
strategy and
stats.
to the iguana, but slightly slower and more defense-oriented. Their thicker hide and stockier build allows them to shake off attacks that would send other characters reeling. They've also got a higher intelligence stat than most lizards, which, in addition to making them surprisingly decent support builds, also makes them great at outsmarting builds like alligators in order to attack their nests. Tengus are also omnivores, meaning they
did it just gobble the whole egg, or did you break it?
aren't forced to participate in PvP in order to level up. They did spec into the autonomy ability though, which I unfortunately think keeps them out of top tier. Before I reveal the top tier lizards, I just want to say real quick, if you've made it this far and are enjoying the video, it would sure make my day if you subscribed. Thanks.
Yep, guys, go ahead and subscribe. This channel is really good if you haven't checked this out already. But if you were watching my reaction, then I'm guessing you've already seen a couple of TierZoo's videos, and it's really great.
So, without a shadow of a doubt,
Monitor
the best
lizard.
is the monitor lizard.
Interesting.
They have everything.
No
They've got
Komodo
the best
dragons.
Stats, a combination of great mobility, power, size, and intelligence. Similar to the iguana, monitor lizards have an extremely powerful tail whip, capable of deterring even top-tier predators. Monitor lizards also have a venomous bite, which again is a rarity in the lizard faction. While not the speediest lizard, right,
Are monitor lizards also called Komodo dragons, or are they different? Let me check that out real quick. Okay, no, Komodo dragons are different. Moving on.
They do have great versatility in their movement, being able to swim efficiently as well as climb most surfaces, though not to the same degree as the marine iguana or the gecko respectively. Their high intelligence enables them to consistently figure out ways to successfully raid the spawn
son,
points
you
of
are
their
dead.
players, and their high defense makes it so they can
You
be
are
rather
not
difficult to
getting
stop
out of
once
your
they've
hole.
committed to an attack. This faction also contains the most powerful lizard in the game, a lizard that reaches near dinosaur power levels.
Here we go, the Komodo dragon.
Komodo dragons are extremely powerful.
Oh man, I did not know they were going against that big,
but even without that, they'd be
that big a prey.
Their tail swipes, claw slashes, and thrashing bites can easily shred through the HP of their target.
Top tier for
Their only
sure.
weakness is their speed, which, while solid, isn't broken by any means. Still, with their incredible sense of smell, a player can never really truly escape a Komodo that's hunting them. The distance that you need to flee in order to
run,
Komodo
son.
unable to track you down would require you to leave the island server entirely.
Oh, you
Last
are
but certainly
dead.
not least, Komodos, as well as the entire monitor lizard player base, understand that their tails are an invaluable weapon that shouldn't be sacrificed in order to escape a battle.
There we go.
So there you have it, the lizard tier list. Hopefully now you've got a good understanding of the lizard's strategies and matchups.
Damn.
Admittedly, there were a few things I had to cut from the script of this video to avoid demonetization or age restriction. If you want to see the director's cut of this episode, you can check it out on Nebula,
Oh, it's
a
good.
streaming service made by and for creators. I do this with all of my new videos, uploading ad-free and uncensored versions of my videos there, as well as a few entirely exclusive videos. In addition, you can check out my appearance on the Nebula exclusive podcast Genesis if you're interested in hearing my character's backstory. Nebula has partnered with CuriosityStream to bring you both services for less than $15 a year,
Polymerization.
which is 26% off the price of what CuriosityStream alone normally goes for.
Wait, no, where was that?
26% off the price of what CuriosityStream alone.
There you go, guys. If you want to get Nebula and CuriosityStream both with 26% off the annual price, go ahead and visit CuriosityStream/TierZoo. Go ahead and support this channel. This is a really good channel. But yeah, as I thought, the Komodo dragon is gonna be high S tier, since they're not only big, they're also like really tanky, and like I said, they have their bite, which is venomous. And not only that, I even forgot to mention that they also have their claws, and I did not know that they could run that quickly. So if you're on a Komodo dragon's targets, then I don't know if you can ever get away. You could probably outrun them, but like he said, they're probably gonna hunt you down. But yeah, that was a really good video. As usual, I learned a lot more about lizards from that video. But that's gonna be it for me today, guys. Link to my Twitter is down in the description below. Go ahead and check it out if you want to. And if you're new here and enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below, and consider subscribing. It helps me and it helps the channel grow. Also, don't forget to leave your suggestions and what you would like me to see next. That being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!